What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're taking another deep look at the reveal for Black Ops 7, this time looking at all of the weapons that they showed off throughout the reveal. Because surprisingly, they actually showed off most of the weapons that are going to be in the game at launch. They've confirmed we're going to be seeing 30 weapons at launch, 16 of which are brand new weapons to the franchise, and I'll be pointing out, I believe, at least 20 of these new guns. Keeping in mind, we obviously don't have names for all these guns. Many of them are futuristic, of course, so they're not really based on any real-life guns, or they might be very loosely based on real-life guns. And also, it is possible I categorize them in the wrong spot, like especially in the case of like assault rifles versus marksman rifles. The line can often be blurred by just looking at the gun and trying to determine what category that fits into. So without further ado, let's dive right into it, and we're going to start it off with the assault rifles. And the first one to point out here is what appears to be a futuristic AK-style gun. It could be a KN-44 or something like that from Black Ops 3 or a variant of it. It's clearly based off of an AK platform though, and definitely futuristic looking. Then one of the most prevalent guns that we saw throughout the trailers is this gun here. Kind of looks like the Rampart 17, although we could see in some of the images that they're calling this the Eagle, at least internally. I don't know if this is going to be the final name of this, but this gunsmith screen was showed off in the background in the reveal. So at least as of now, they're calling this the Eagle. And we also got a bit of a look at the iron sights of this right here. After that, we saw this gun quite a bit throughout the trailers and clips. And interestingly, there doesn't appear to be a magazine or an ejection port anywhere, and the muzzle looks very unique, so to me this looks like some form of an energy weapon or like a laser weapon of some kind. However, in the clips where this shows up in the trailer, you can see them shooting it, and it has a normal looking muzzle flash, and it is ejecting spent casings. So I don't know if that's just like a placeholder animation for this gun or something, and that's not how it's going to look at launch. I suspect that's what's going to be going on here, but in either case, it's a cool looking gun. After that, we've got what appears to be the M8 or a variant of the M8 from previous Black Ops games. This one showed up a fair amount throughout the trailer, and I'm curious to see if it is going to be a 4-round burst like we would expect out of an M8. And also, if they're following suit with Black Ops 6 when it comes to categorization, then there's a pretty good chance this is actually going to be classified as a marksman rifle. After that, we have a somewhat futuristic version of an M4, which I like to call the Cheek Shredder 5000. We once again have what appears to be just an unfinished placeholder animation here, where the charging handle is kicking back with every shot fired. And then finally, for what I have categorized as an assault rifle, but who knows where this is going to go, we have this gun here, which I believe only showed up in this one section. Never mind, Ace from the future, I also saw a little clip of it right here, which gives us a different look at it. And interestingly, this looks like it's actually two guns in one, because you'll notice not only are there two barrels, there's also a magazine up front, which is also serving as the front grip, whereas you can also see a charging handle toward the rear of the gun, and it does appear this is a bullpup back there as well. So I believe this is going to be a hybrid gun, where it's two types of guns mixed into one, and you'll be able to switch between those. And I really enjoy guns like that in Call of Duty. We had like the Ripper in the past. I love the Ripper, where you could swap between like SMG mode and assault rifle mode with a different rate of fire and different damage depending on the mode you were in. But next, let's get into the SMG category, and the first one is a returning gun from the past. This is the Peacekeeper. This was shown a lot throughout the trailer. We got all kinds of angles on this. It's clearly the Peacekeeper. After that, another one that showed up a lot is this front-loading SMG here. And I'm pretty sure this is the Dravik 45 that you can get a Mastercraft of if you get the Vault Edition of the game, which is kind of reminiscent of a PP-19 or PP-919 as we see it in Black Ops 6. In fact, you can put a helical mag on it like this, but that's a second SMG I wanted to point out here. After that, I didn't see any actual gameplay clips of this, but we did see a couple images of what appears to be a futuristic P90 style gun, similar to the Cordite or PDW-57 from previous Black Ops games. We saw it on this screen in the background, as well as in the zombies image. You can see him holding that gun right here. And then finally for SMGs, there was a very brief clip right here showing off an SMG that didn't appear anywhere else as far as I could tell. And this looks like the MSMC from Black Ops 2, so likely related to that gun, if not just literally the MSMC. Then let's get into the LMG category, and there's one LMG that just kept showing up over and over in the reveal clips. And that's this one here. Now, interestingly, it looks like it has a little screen on it that shows you its ammo count. And if we zoom in here, it says multi-cal system. So it seems like we can swap between different calibers on this to presumably change up the rate of fire and the damage values, depending on the attachment that you're using. And then after that, the only other gun that I saw that looked to be an LMG is this one here, which was actually in the blog post, not in the reveal footage. And I might even be wrong, this might not be an LMG, but I'm going to throw it in the LMG category here at least. We didn't really get a good look at the overall gun, but I didn't see this one show up in any of the gameplay clips. Now, let's move on to the shotgun category, and the first one we saw quite a bit, and we know the name of. This is the Echo 12, which is a double-barrel shotgun with an interesting magazine, kind of similar to the M1216 that we saw back in Black Ops 2. And we can actually see it in action in first person right here. And then the other shotgun that we saw a few times, not quite as often throughout the reveal, was this one right here. We can see in the zombies image. I believe this is the same shotgun we're seeing on the back of this player here. And it also could be this shotgun that we see a really short clip of for the campaign footage. Although if it is the same shotgun, it clearly has a bunch of different attachments on it. Or who knows, maybe this one is different. But on the back of this one, you can see it says MDLX or Model X. That's likely what this one is going to be called. And then finally for shotguns, I can't even confirm for sure that this is a shotgun, but one of the Vault Edition Mastercrafts you get is for the M10 Breacher, which the name of that sounds like a shotgun, and there are definitely some shotgun-looking elements to this gun, but I'm not even 100% sure that it is a shotgun. But I decided I'll throw it into the shotgun category here, because that's my best guess, at least for this one. Next, let's get into marksman rifles / sniper rifles. Again, this is one of those things where it can be a bit of a gray area, so I'm just going to kind of lump them together. And the first one I noticed right here that could be a marksman rifle or a sniper rifle appears to be at least loosely based on the Mark 14 EBR or the M39 EMR, but I could be wrong on that. Perhaps it's something I'm just not familiar with as well. And if we remember this image right here with the shotgun on the guy's back, if we have a look at the guy on the left instead, he's also got what appears to be a sniper rifle or potentially marksman rifle on his back, and it seems likely that this could be the same one that we just had a look at. We also get a look at one on the back of this player right here. Again, that could be the same gun, although it does seem to have a very different aesthetic to it. It definitely has a different magwell, and therefore I believe this is actually a different gun, but it can be hard to tell due to how much attachments can have an effect on the looks of the guns in this game. And then let's have a look at what we know is a sniper rifle, and we know the name of this one from the Vault Edition Mastercrafts. This is the VS Recon. We also see it get dropped on the ground right here in game, and there are several different images and clips that we got with this, including the weapon inspect, also various configurations of attachments with this gun, and that wall bounce sniping clip is also the VS Recon. And now let's get into the sidearms, and the akimbo pistols that we saw a few times throughout the trailer. We also saw this over-the-shoulder clip of, and it appears it's going to be called the Jaeger 45. And interestingly, we can see, at least in this clip, it's full auto. When she swaps from an assault rifle to this pistol, it pops up and says full auto. Of course, this could also be due to the fact that this is a work in progress. Maybe it isn't actually full auto, but the game's not in a finished state yet. But just an interesting detail I wanted to point out. Then, once again from the zombies image, we've got what appears to be the Cap 40 from Black Ops 2, or at least a variant of that. And interestingly, in the very first teaser trailer that we got for Black Ops 7, like a month or two ago, he's holding that exact same gun, which again is probably the Cap 40 or some variant of it. And then with the reveal, we also got this image here, which could be the same pistol, again with different attachments, but I think it's actually a totally different pistol in her hands here. And then finally for weapons here that I feel like I can positively identify, we've got this launcher, which also shows up on the side of this clip right here. It seems to be some kind of an energy launcher that can kill infantry players. And with that out of the way, there are a few wildcards I wanted to point out here as well that I had a hard time identifying, or that have been confirmed to be something else entirely, like this one. I thought this was going to be some kind of like a bullpup assault rifle or marksman rifle, but it turns out this is actually a score streak called the Gravemaker, which is a charge rifle that lets you see and shoot enemies through walls. However, if you are being aimed at through walls by this, you will get an indicator so you can try to dodge that shot or something. Which I'm not loving the sounds of something like that gameplay-wise, but of course we'll have to wait to see how it's all balanced out, like how many walls or how thick of a wall can it shoot through? Is there a bit of a delay after you fire before it actually gets a hit on the player? So does it actually give them enough time to just dodge it easily? So time will have to tell on that, but that is a score streak, not a weapon. Also in the campaign, we see the War Machine, which is very likely just going to be carried forward from Black Ops 6 as a score streak as well. And that leads us to this gun right here in the center. I couldn't quite figure out what this was. I thought maybe it would be the War Machine, but it is a bullpup, whereas the War Machine isn't. So this is something else entirely. Whether it's a primary weapon or some form of a score streak, I'm not too sure. But I did want to point out that this is one that I'm just not sure where this fits in, but it is there, and I don't believe it overlaps with any of the guns we talked about earlier in this video as well. And there we go. That's going to wrap it up for every gun I was able to find and identify throughout all of the reveal footage and images that we've got so far. Like I said at the beginning, this is most of the ones we're going to be seeing at launch, and 30 at launch is a respectable number of weapons for a Call of Duty game at launch, and that's not even considering carry forward. That's something that will also happen with the launch of Season 1. We're going to get all of the Black Ops 6 weapons piled on top of all of these guns, but even without carry forward, 30 is not too bad. It's not the most we've seen at launch for a Call of Duty game, but it's certainly not the least. And of course, this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about the guns we've seen so far in Black Ops 7? Do you guys like the aesthetic with them? Are there any in particular that you're really excited to use? Just let me know all of those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.